Okay, now that we saw how the main I/O works, we are in this video going to focus on another section in this tool. And this time we're going to focus on the cause and effect in here. So the cause and effect is the section where we provide the Tiger tool with the matrix for how our application should work. So let's see how that works, and we'll go from there. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to right click on this, similar to what we did with the main IO. And again, we can give it a name or keep the defaults. I'm going to say OK. And what we can do here is, if we want to create like one from scratch, we can do that. So if I go to here, now if you remember, we created those main IOs in the first video, so we see them here. So that's one of the interactions. Now we can see here which one is we want to use. So for instance, if I want to use this one, or what's this one here? Or I could use this one. So anyway, so as we created our IO list here, they become available in this cause and effect. So that's one interaction. So let me close that, and I can say rack 3, and then I can say generate. So when I did that, basically Tiger look at that IO list and then automatically generate for me this ready to go template that I need to fill in, to tell it how the logic need to work. In the same way, also it creates for you this matrix that I need to fill in as well. So so let's have a look a little bit about this matrix, or cause and effect, shutdown key. They're all terms that we typically use in process applications. So for example, we have here an analog inputs high alarm. Let's say, if we have this high alarm, we want, for example, to close a valve or shut down or something, then what we can do is we can come here and say, just turn it off, just turn off. In the same way, if let's say the low also does that, we can say off. If, for instance, we want something to turn on, then we can put on. So, sorry, just like this. So we say on. So we have off, on. Those are the terms used. We also have another keyword, which is group. So just GRP, like that. And it's not case sensitive, so if you put it in upper cases or combination or whatever, it doesn't matter. Now the group, so if you have, let's say, a bunch of shutdowns, you want to group them together into one output. So let's say, for instance, you have all your fire detectors, for instance, and you want to group them into one output that's called fire, that you're going to use as a shutdown for your application. You can, for example, group all of those into one output, and you just use the term group, and then the Tiger will, it's smart enough to pick those and then use them. So those basically the three terms you can use: off, on, and group to build in this matrix. And then we also have the first out in here, and the first out logic, it is created in structured text. So if I want this to be part of the first out logic, so I can just say on the same way here, and whatever tags I want it to be part of that, I can just put on in this column, and then Tiger will pick that up and create all the logic, necessary logic and all that stuff templated in the program. So that's how this matrix works. Now, along with this matrix, each matrix will have an output set up. So what that means is we have to tell Tiger what is the purpose for each of these outputs. So, and that's what we specify here. So for example, let's say this output is a control valve controlled by a PID loop, then we can just simply see here PID. And then we also, along with the purpose, we have these parameters that we can use as wildcards to specify certain parameters that maybe this PID has, like, for example, process variable or some alarms and so forth. So these parameters, they serve different purposes depending on what what function you have or what control strategies you picked or the purpose of that output. So we have PID, and then for discrete outputs, we have, for example, let's say this is a valve. So I can just say you are an SOV, solenoid valve. Now, depending how your your SOV control strategy is, you might want to use this parameter, for example, to specify the tags for your open and close limit switches, things like that. So you might say, this is for this one, it's ZSC 10, for example, is your close, and then ZSO for your open. And then Tiger will pick up these as it's building the logic for you based on this. We're going to see this more in details in next videos, how it works. So we have PID, we have SOV, we have also, let's say this discrete is, for example, a pump. So we can specify an MOT for that. And then in the same way, we can use these parameters for different purposes, like maybe the speed control or maybe the run status, that kind of things. We also have, another keyword is relay. So let's say this output, it's maybe just maybe an exhaust fan or things like that. So you just want to specify it as an output as a relay. And again, you have these parameters that you can use. And then the other one we have is equip. Okay, so equip, it's used with, for example, your standalone equipment. So let's say we have maybe a compressor skid, or we have, another package is a standalone. It has its own controls and stuff. But we just want to have some shutdowns associated with to shut down that piece of equipment. Then we can use this keyword equip, and then Tiger will pick up all the shutdowns for it and stuff and create that for us in the logic. So basically, those are the purposes we have as of today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 purposes. And of course, we can import and merge and all that. So if we want to just import just to see, we can import our shutdown key here. And this is all built in, and it's probably easier to do that in Excel or a combination on both. You could start on it here, build that vanilla matrix, and then you take it, you export it to Excel, you fill it in, and then you bring it back, you import it, and then you're good to go. And the same way here, we can also import it as well. So I can have that here. And as we can see here, for example, the PID. So for this PID control strategy we picked, it uses, for example, these these parameters. So this is used for the tag for the PID, this one is for the process variable, and then these I believe is for like a forced value when you are in shutdown scenario. In the same way, we have an SOV valve, so we're specifying the limit switches, and then the MOTs, and so forth. Okay, so that's one matrix. So in the same way as we saw in the main I/O, we can also create multiple if we want. So to do so, just click Add. We can call this whatever you want, and then again, I can pick another I/O list, and then create that, and then automatically create for me all the I/Os are listed here, and I can put the purposes and fill in this, or take it to Excel, fill all that up, and then bring it back in, import it. So that's how basically the cause and effect section works and its interaction with the I/O list. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.